built this. You built Basketballverse, which is, shout out to merch, right?
Mhm.
You built Basketballverse, which is a platform for all things basketball, right? And that's our mission and goal. Um, and you've created a platform where these friends that you have, that you've built this camaraderie with in Lithuania, the people you've met along the way, and things like that, you could bring all of that together and still have somewhere for this love of basketball to live, which is a beautiful thing. I feel like you did, and super excited. And parts of the reason why I'm here, right? Me and you had a talk. I want to say what, 2 months ago, maybe. I don't know the
Yeah,
time,
more
something like
something.
that, but. Uh, and you explained all of this to me. First, I played the game, which is really cool. We'll get into that. And then you explained the mission to me, and it caught me. I'm like, dude, this is it. Like, this is the type of things I want to do. I'm huge on community. I'm huge on community building. I'm huge on really like showing your community the love and getting them into cool things and stuff like that. So like you built this, and this gives an opportunity for longevity post their careers for you to be able to help them out, which is really cool. And I commend you on that. It's a big step to take. It's a huge step to take, to take your original love and say, hey, listen, uh, I know I love this, but this might be a safer bet for me, and I can still involve this. I feel like it was a super smart move. A lot of people they just like quit. They're like, all right, well, this didn't work out for me. I'm just gonna go to the next thing and just whatever, right? I feel like you did it very strategically, and it was super smart. And yeah. So I
It
just want to
was.
commend you on that. Yeah.
Appreciate. I'll just comment real quick on that. I mean, it wasn't a very straight path to that. I
Yeah.
am right now extremely grateful to have an opportunity to work on something like this, to combine my two biggest passions, tech and basketball and business. So it is a reason I get up every morning with a smile on my face, and I'm working like 16-hour days again with a smile on my face, because I'm working on the thing that I love. But it wasn't a straight path, meaning that it's like 9, 10 years since I finished my basketball player path, and I started with definitely not with not what I'm working on right now. I started a actually one of the first play jobs that I was working at was at the Unity, the game creation engine. It's actually the
Oh,
engine that we are building on our game at. So it contributes a lot when it comes today, building the game. And me understanding how those things are being built from the back end contributes a lot when I'm talking to our developers, when I'm talking to our strategists, because I understand how things are being done. Um, yeah, and I had a few other workplaces all around tech here and there, but yeah, now I've been working on basketball for the past 2 years and extremely happy about that. What I'm all and again, I mean, basketball is really something I need to thank for, that I have the understanding. I have a broad understanding on what this game means across the globe. Meaning, I understand what it means in Europe, and I have a very good understanding what it means in the United States. And even though I played basketball and I went to high school in the United States for only 1 year, it expanded my understanding about how things are different and how things are being treated, seen at, and so on and so forth. Like, it contributed a lot, and I guess that's the reason we got on a very good. How did I put this? We had a very good conversation once the first time we had a call,
yeah.
because I'm already familiar with the culture. I'm already familiar and with the way people see things over there,
Yeah.
and that contributes to when it comes to brainstorming the strategy on how to shape this product and make it appealing not only for myself but also for the people back in the United States, people in Asia, people in here in Europe. So,
And a thousand
100%.
percent, a thousand percent, I do agree with that. When I spoke with you, your knowledge and understanding of things was very high level. And uh, I worked in this field, and I've been doing media and production and stuff for a long time. Spoken to a lot of people, and my BS meter is really good. Or it's just hitting off. Like, so if you're BSing me, I'm kind of like, all right. But when I talk to you, it's very genuine. I could really feel the love for basketball. I mean, we sat and talked for basketball for like 10 minutes within it, right? Outside of the
Yeah.
actual stuff. So definitely there. And I mean, that led to you creating Basketballverse, which I mean, in totality, is this is a basketball platform, but the base of that, the foundation of that, is Basketballverse, and which is a game, very fun game that Simon has been building out for some years now, and I'm glad to be a part of the team. But for the people who don't know about Basketballverse, could you give like a brief overview of the project?
100%. So, look, everything started out as a video game until just the recent few months. So, the positioning we're having right now is that we are a global hub for basketball fans all across the world, delivering a unique fusion of gaming, digital entertainment, and exclusive community perks. Our main mission is to become a top of the mind destination for every basketball fan out there to connect with like minded people, to celebrate the love of the game. And our job is to provide various online and offline experiences that would contribute to this well end mission. Um, so yeah, I would say this is a description of what we do, where we're heading, what we're trying to do. Everything started out as a game. It is still at the core of everything we do, but it just made sense to touch on those other points because that's again. I mean, when I'm trying to compare our project with any other project out there from the gaming field, I feel like we have huge advantages against anyone out there because of the very simple reason the love for the game, which is basketball, is already out there. It's the top three most popular sport in the world. We have over 2.2 billion people who are loving the sport. It's popular in Asia. It's popular, like it's growing in Japan like crazy. It's growing in
Hmm.
China like crazy. Southeast Asia is investing in the basketball a lot. It's popular in Europe, and it's huge in United States, like North
Yeah,
and South. Uh, so we have this huge advantage because the love of the game is already out there. All we need to do is just to present new experiences to the people in that appealing way, and we are at a very good place when it comes to penetrating the market.
yeah.
So
I
yeah,
mean,
I feel like I went off a little bit over here, but
no, you're
let's
good,
get
and
back to the
that
rails.
it's a very smart move to do that. We talk about this all the time. Is like bringing value, right? What
Mm,
value do you bring, right? And most games they bring value of camaraderie with friends and playing the game and stuff like that. But once you reach that point, right? It's like, what else is there, right? What else
mm,
can we do? What else is there? And you've answered that with, "Hey, listen, come play our game. Our game's fun, super cool, very familiar feel, right?" And then once you're done with that, and you're like, "All right, I'm a little wrapped. I'm done with this. I played a bunch today. I've kind of basketball versed out, right?" And you could hop right to the podcast, or you could hop right into Discord and talk to the homies about the picks for the night, or you can go over here and maybe get something, I can't say anything yet, but something exclusive for yourself, right? So I love the fact that you guys did that. Like I said, I'm huge on community building, and I feel like the way to build community is to reward them, especially for people who are helping you build out what your dream is, right? So super dope. All right, and super dope on that. And let's move on a little more into the game, right? I have on a bucket hat today, and I wore that specifically because this game blends 90s basketball culture with modern Web3 technology, right? Um, Explain how that works with the game. Explain how you guys came about this 90s and wanting to actually involve like the Web3 and blockchain technology as well.
yeah, 100%. The reason we chose 90s theme, and not only the 90s theme but also the arcade path,
Hmm.
due to a few reasons. So we know that one of the most popular games on basketball theme that's out there is NBA 2K, and we
Yeah.
cannot compare ourselves right now, like budget wise, the experience wise, with those guys by any means. So we had to choose a smarter way to do this.
Hmm.
So what we did was, and that's a pillar of everything I do, I analyze the data, and I recognize that all these 90s, 80s, 70s are getting back in trend, not only fashion wise, but just the way things are being done wise,
Mhm.
what people are enjoying, and so on and so forth. So that's why we chose that. And now our game stands as as I like to call it, it's a perfect combination of NBA Street Volume 2 from the gameplay standpoint, like the cage flavor and so on and so forth, and the Rocket League, which is if I'm not mistaken, it's the seventh most played game as of right now. Like
Yeah.
tens of millions of people are playing that game every day. And the reason I'm mentioning Rocket League is the user journey point of view, meaning it is a very fast paced game. The game never stops unless someone scores the point. You can play 2 versus 2, 3 versus 3. It's a very easy game to start playing, but it is hard to master, which ensures the best churn rates and the thrill to continue going. It has a social aspect where you can form teams. You can play with your peers, with your fellows, which is huge in online multiplayers and in competitive nature games.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, so that would be the combination, of everything. Why we chose this path as the smartest way. I mean, and I can't say it's easier to build, but it's definitely like the market already has the NBA 2K, which is a hyper realism game, which tries to recreate what's happening in real world.
Mhm.
Um, so okay, they can go really deep there, but what can we present that would make them relax, have fun,
Yeah.
just play
Exactly.
right here, right now, have this, quick fun with the fellows. Again, I love the Rocket League example. I think the combination of features that they have there is really working out great. And it has a track record, of being appealing to people.
Yeah. And speaking of features, what features of Basketballverse are you most excited for the players to experience?
Good question. So look, I can't, like, when it comes to what I'm excited about, I can't really comment on that. I think what's the most important part is to get the gameplay right, meaning to provide this great feeling when you're playing the game on the court.
Yeah.
All of the other things, are the additions to make you want to keep going. But
Exactly.
it's the main thing is to have this core gameplay figured out, and the rest is just providing it additional content. And I really like, we had a closed alpha testing back in December
Yeah.
with a limited amount of players, and this was the main goal of that testing, to understand if people like the gameplay at all.
Yeah.
And luckily everybody just loved it. I mean, we had those feedback surveys bombarded with positive feedback, like they love the gameplay, they love everything. So it really confirmed that we are on the right path, which I'm very happy about. So
Yeah.
once you get that right, then it's all about adding additional features like social aspect, new merchandise, new power moves on the court, and so on and so forth. So
Yeah.
that would be my answer.
Great explanation. And you answered two of my questions back to back at once. So that's perfect because my next question was how you could you discuss the role of community feedback in shaping the development? But you literally just answered that for me. So I thank you for doing my job for me. Appreciate that. Makes it a little
100%.
easier on me. Nah. But let's move on a bit. Still want to talk about basketball verse just a tad bit before we move on to discussing like what we want to do with the podcast.
Of course.
Uh I don't know if you can talk about this one. So let's move on to the next one. What roles the pros and players and partners in the building of this platform? What role do they play in building this platform?
Right. So as we've been pretty local about our game being our platform being powered by NBA and EuroLeague players, so we definitely need to stand behind that statement and explain what's the idea there. We already announced one NBA player, which is Mo Bamba from Philadelphia 76ers, ex Magic,
Yeah,
which I'm sure
X
you know.
Magic. Yeah.
Um,
Wish he was still there, but things happen.
yeah. So this is the idea of our partnership with them. We are integrate them in our ecosystem in few different ways. First being we immortalize their signature moves, meaning that once we do the partnership, we analyze their real world basketball moves. We identify which of those moves are their signature moves, which defines them as a player. Maybe it's a step back 3-point shot, or maybe it's a fadeaway. Those type of stuff. We then recreate the same movement mechanic with just an arcadish flavor in our game environment, and we mount each of those moves in the form of a digital asset, which you can later utilize when you are going and playing the game against others, in order to get an advantage against your opponent. Uh, it does not only enrich your gameplay experience, but it also creates an extra layer of connection with the basketball player that you love. For the basketball player himself, it allows them kind of to leave a legacy, leave their signature moves, not only in the physical but also in the digital realm. So that's that. Outside of that, we will be inviting them to this podcast that we are having with you right now, Courtside Culture. I believe we're going to touch on that a bit later also and expand. And last but not least, we're going to be looking for multiple ways to create various engagement initiatives with the fans. I'm talking virtual meet and greets. I'm talking Q&A sessions. I'm talking signed merchandise giveaways, and that type of stuff, which is again based on data, is something that every sports fan, pretty much every sports fan, is really looking forward to. So it just makes sense for us to create something like that since we were working on such platform.